Now we're going to move on to the method of the study. To begin the experiment, the entirety of an elementary school was given a nonverbal intelligence test called the TOGA. TOGA stands for Test of General Ability, and it was created by John Clemens Flanagan in 1960. According to Flanagan himself, the assessment is meant to provide a relatively fair measure of intelligence for all individuals, even those who have had atypical opportunities to learn. This test examines a person's verbal and reasoning skills, with verbal skills referring to the test taker's level of information and vocabulary, while reasoning is centered on their ability to form concepts with abstract lines. The test is theoretically fair to all individuals with different learning opportunities because it is not depending on math, reading, writing, or other traditionally school-learned skills. After administering this test, the teachers were handed a list with students they believed to be the highest scoring to lowest scoring. The teachers were told that the students' scores on the test indicated that they would show unusual intellectual gains during the academic year. However, out of the 18 classes, 20% of the students were randomly assigned to the experimental condition, where their spots on the list would change from what they originally got. At the end of the school year, 8 months after the teachers were told which students showed promise, the students retook the same IQ test to show how they improved intellectually. The old and new scores were then compared to the manipulated test score list to see if they improved or if they decreased. This study was done using random sampling instead of carefully picked individuals or volunteers because doing so provides a better reflection on the rest of the population. Because everyone has an equal chance to be chosen and represented, the study becomes a more accurate portrayal of society. So, what's an independent variable? An independent variable is an object or a thing in the study that receives the alteration in order to analyze the consequences of that same change. In this case, those variables would be the placement of the experimental group students on the score list and presumably the resulting treatment from the teachers. Now, what's a dependent variable? A dependent variable is what can be or is affected by the independent variable and what is thereby measured afterwards. In this case, because we're attempting to measure how the students improved intellectually, the dependent variable will be the result at the end of the year TOGA test. And finally, what is a controlled variable? The controlled variable would be the thing that remains unchanged and constant during the entire experiment. Therefore, in our case, it will be the grade level of each individual student.